And we're here. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Something from Nothing Poker. I hope everyone is doing well. I actually am doing somewhat okay. um, yeah, welcome to poker. We're gonna have a great time. We have some wonderful guests for you guys. Let me turn down the music a little bit. With me, of course, like each and every time we can get rid of him. We tried. We sent assassins, and he just ignores them. We just keep sending those possum assassins, and he just has fights with them. Boomer, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. The assassin body count's getting higher here. Actually, I'm getting up to John Wayne Gacy levels of backyard body beverage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What can I say? Who's mixing cocktails in the background? Oh my God, why is there always someone have to do that? What is the score here? Oh, these cocktail mixes. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say Australia, we're on a high. We have taken on the world's best idiots. The guys of Whitsit and various others, Oakley, Arwen from Holland, your input, and Mitchell from Australia has won top left. But not only did he win it, he fucking kicked everyone's ring. He got 20,000 plus votes. So Mitchell from Australia, absolute legend. Good on you, mate. Us Aussies are a wicked idiot with the best of them, including you Americans, which leads us into the beautiful. How are you, Jin? Feeling sexy as always?
Sexier than usual, I should think.
Really? Are you
Yes,
looking
I actually
sexy for
survived
this
another
time?
week.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're surprised when we hear that too. We've got you insured for quite a sizable sum, and we're kind of, well, we're getting a little impatient, if you know what I mean. So you could just hurry along on that. That'd be
Yeah,
nice. So what's been
I'm
happening?
almost 37. I want to go. I want to go. I want to retire already.
That ain't going to happen anytime soon.
Uh-huh. And so what's been happening in Ginland apart from you feeling sexier than normal, which we don't know is a good or a
Oh,
bad thing,
just, just normal work crap.
right? Are you disappointed at the poor showing you Americans made in the top left competition? Because JM Truth, he's American, isn't he? He was your best at fourth, and he was the bunker nomination too. So you must be disappointed going fourth.
I'm not really disappointed, as I'm just saying, that they just don't bring the game. They don't have it.
Oh no, JM did. I think he was more your consistent player. But okay, so you're not going to be putting up your own thing next year. Who else was there?
Well,
JM Truth
probably.
fourth. I don't know who fifth place was, but I also Rachie. Is Rachie Irish? I think she may be. Is that right? Rachie 50.
I'm not sure what she is. She's
Okay.
somewhere in her, I know.
Either way, she is queen of the flirts and queen of the sillies. But she's quite interesting too, Rachie. I've got time for her. She's not malicious. She's just silly. Anyway, okay. Well, seeing as you don't really want to go far with putting up nominating next year's idiots, how are you, Flint? What's happening in Switzerland? No, even though I know it's nothing, I'm just asking to be nice.
Okay, fine. That's nice. I mean, I just got a new job, so I think everything goes well for me. Nothing much going on about this kind of stuff, which you just talked about. Though we have a concerning lots of people who are have a weird political view on stuff, and I think some people should definitely get away from them. But it's not happening, so it's weird. And yeah, that's a bit about that. Not much more. Um, for top left, I wouldn't actually I can't say they can nominate anyone. I would actually put a bunch of them on the scale there because there's just too many. That's what I would do.
Well, you got to remember though, it is based on Dunning Kruger, and when you look
Uh,
up the definition, that is based on who thinks they're an idiot, but thinks they're really smart, but is actually an idiot. And so, on that note, I actually reckon Witsit represents the Dunning Kruger top left. Totally thinks he knows everything when in fact demonstrating fuck all. So that's really on the Dunning-Kruger side of it. They're all various kinds of idiots, but idiot comes in lots of flavors. I'm sure you've noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. That's idiocy comes in a lot of flavors,
Mm.
and I have to say that most flat earthers think that they're smarter than everybody else just because he look at it like that doesn't make sense argument and just think arguments like uh, uh, give me a second to boot up again because I think something just fried. That's sort of stupid. It's like, damn it, why? Why do you do that?
Well, hello, Mr. Victory, then. Happy
Yeah.
listening.
You've got the link,
Oh.
dude. So drop in if you do have time when you get home. But thank you for listening. Yeah, we will do our best to keep you amused. Of course, as everyone knows, and this is why you're here, Flip, because we do miss you when you're not here. You are our man for Swiss weather and traffic reports. So, like usual, is the weather snowing and is there no traffic, or do we have something to report?
I mean, currently I don't see outside, so the weather must be really bad. Or I don't see outside because there's actually something in front of it inside of my room. But we had snow yesterday. Also, we had traffic, which was surprisingly possible because we have cars and traffic.
What?
So
No.
yes.
No.
Yes. That I can tell you for sure. And on the other note, we will have weather again tomorrow.
Cool.
Depending on how it stays, from temperatures from about 0 to, I think, 30 degrees is everything possible. Just roll a d20 and add something which you like, and maybe you get the temperature right for tomorrow. That's all from
Well,
me.
you just take a guess. Well, that's our Swiss weather and traffic needs covered for yet another week. See,
Oh.
people, we like this.
About the weather, here in the Netherlands, the weather pulled like the perfect April Fool's Day.
No.
Yes, because like a couple of days before April Fools, the weather made us think it was spring. And then on April Fools, it was snowing.
Oh,
You
boy,
get it? Get it, April Fools? You thought it was spring, but no. Fuck you, April.
What did you expect in April? Sorry. I don't expect anything of weather in April.
That's why I waited. That is why I waited with being born till the end of till the end of April, when the weather starts being better.
Okay,
I stayed inside until the weather got better.
I'm not going outside until it's end of April. Well, anyway, I had a really nice conversation. Like a friend of mine, also Swiss, so suddenly broke like, "It's fucking snow." He's like, yeah, well, dude, that was in the weather reports. Like, apparently I'm living under a rock, and just added it. Yeah, well, a pretty nice rock, to be honest. And no, not everybody can absorb everything of information all the time, so don't feel too bad about it. Sometimes something really obvious goes by me as well. So
this wasn't. I knew it ahead of time. I just thought it was a good April. It was a good It was kind of funny that it happened on April on the April 1st. Well, also on the day before that, but you know. It's kind of like, I was kind of upset that about the weather.
Yeah, well, there are worse things. Driving in that kind of weather.
Oh yeah, I went to the movie theater last Thursday in that weather.
I mean, that's a thrill ride, to be honest.
I also went to the movies yesterday, but we don't talk about that movie because that movie was so bad that that a friend of mine and me just left 45 minutes ahead of time.
Well, the fact that it was after April Fool's Day, wasn't that in itself enough of a warning bell? I would have not gone to any releases in April Fool's week.
Yeah, but what movie was that?
Ambulance from Michael Bay, directed by Michael Bay. We
I
thought, Michael Bay movie. We grab some popcorn, and at the very least, we'll laugh our asses off of how bad it is. It's sort of like funny bad with the those actions movie with like way too many explosions and that sort of thing. But it was actually bad and boring.
Oh,
Well, who was in
well,
it though? Like,
congratulations, you made it worse.
if you got to announce just the director, what were there no names, or was that just it? Was that the biggest name? Was Michael Bay?
Oh, when it's a Michael Bay movie, it usually doesn't really matter who the actors are because even good actors would.
How can you see them through the explosions and lens flares?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, no. So what? Well, question still remains: who was in it?
There was. Oh, I'm really bad with. Oh yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. That's his name. He was in it. He's a relatively known actor. I
Who
liked
is
him.
that?
I liked him in Spider-Man 2. Far From Home,
Uh-huh.
where he played Mysterio. For example, no, Jake Gyllenhaal is a reasonably known actor, I guess. But I'm very, I honestly, I had to look him up because I'm bad with names. But yeah,
Okay. Fine. Okay. What was the other movie you watched?
Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Okay.
That was an
Do you
anime.
need
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I don't know anything about it. My friends asked me if I wanted to go on Saturday, so yesterday, to watch Morbius. Damn it, the new
Yeah.
Marvel movie. You know which one?
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, you're basically the latest persons to ask me if I want to do something on that date. I already had like 4 or 5 people asking me beforehand. Like, yeah, I'm booked. Yeah.
But no, the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is an anime movie. And
Hey, I don't mind what kind of movie and how it's made. I'm just
it's a well-known fact that I like anime. So it should not be a surprise that I probably like the movie.
oh my god, you like anime? How could you? How could I miss that? With
Yeah.
all the reference you provided to anime. Oh wait, now I see it.
And it was
Anyway,
it was a prequel movie to a very good anime series, and it was a lot of fun.
kind of want to watch it without watching the series.
Yes.
Good. Then I may give it a try, as I'm currently working in a new city, and there is actually a cinema close by, or rather more. I'm actually at the train station now, on main train station, so that's a good thing. So I can actually go enjoy some movies. That's cool.
How are you going to
Maybe-
enjoy a movie when movies don't give you anything to enjoy? I'm trying to think what was the last good movie I actually liked. And I've got a feeling it was Guardians of the Galaxy. And that makes me either feel old or, I don't know. When was the last
But
decent,
you're
really,
our
hey,
old boomer.
when was the last, hey, where that was a really good movie? I'm going to tell people to go and watch that. Like, I actually really can't remember it, but then it could be Alzheimer's kicking in. But I'm trying to think when was the last time I saw a movie that actually made me think, geez, that was really good. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you get the chance to watch it somewhere on a streaming site because it's no longer in theaters, you should watch The Last Duel. That was actually a really good movie, and it's too bad it didn't do well in the box office because it got overrun by other movies that were frankly like really big industry names. That
Yeah, sometimes some good movies get sadly bad treatment. Though something which I watched was with Ryan Reynolds, Six Underground. That's on Netflix, and I liked it. It was fun to watch. I mean, it had all the Ryan Reynolds feelings in it, from everything from Deadpool. He doesn't have any. I mean, he's just himself there, Ryan Reynolds. And I liked the movie. It was fun.
Yeah, but the last duel is it stays in the Middle Ages, and it's from the perspective of three people. They the same events, and it's with Ben Affleck, Adam Driver, Matt Damon. This pretty big names, pretty big name actors. The only problem was like I go to the movies pretty regularly, and I see a lot of different movie trailer. I can't remember seeing a movie trailer of that movie before it came out. I there was like no advertisement anyway for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it came out at the same, I think, in the same week as Spider-Man or something like that.
Damn you, Ardawen! We had split pot.
And so yeah, it was kind of too bad that the movie didn't do well, because actually, guys, again, if you get the chance to see The Last Duel, you should go see it, because it's a really good movie.
If you say buy go see meaning pay money, we have a thing called Cody here in Australia where you don't get sent to jail. So I can just wait for any new release and watch it 2 weeks later free of charge.
Yeah, but officially I cannot condone the usage of such means. And I must stress that if you have the chance to do it legally, you should do it legally, because that is the law.
Right.
And we of NASA Bunker 33 do not condone the use of systems like Kodi or GoGo Anime, or other means of sailing the seven seas. Yar.
Yeah, because there are big corporates who need to make a lot of money back and then a lot more over. Speaking of which, have you guys heard about some of those GoFundMes now that are getting really all Kickstarter things like that? The Chronicles of Illyria that got started back in 2017 has taken $8 million from crowd support and hasn't made a fucking thing. And apparently, like, there's quite a few scams going with video games, like people getting quite a lot of money. Have you heard of other ones? Like the Chronicles of Illyria is like, oh, this is going to be Skyrim on steroids and the greatest game ever. Now, the Elden Ring, I'm seeing it everywhere. It looks like fucking Dark Souls Mark II. Am I right?
Yeah, because I believe that it is, because I think it's even like it tended to be like that.
So why all the hype? Did it just have a big successful advertising campaign to begin with? Because to me, it's got great graphics, but it looks like, I don't know, 100 hours of doing errands for people. I don't know, it's sort of, yeah, I was a bit let down by The Witcher.
It's a kind of game. It's a game with a relatively high difficulty. It's kind of a relentless game, just like Dark Souls, and that is what people like, and people just wanted more of that.
Well, actually, no, Dark Souls, when I started playing it, because it was on my chipped Xbox, I found I spent more time curled up in the fetal position in the corner, dribbling and rocking backwards and forth. Like, it was just soul destroying. You get through it. You couldn't just save at any time. You had to go all the way through the grind again to get to that boss. That was just, there's a Star Wars game that was like it too. You didn't know if you were doing the right thing. And so, yeah, Dark Souls, nah.
It's also not for me. I have to be honest, but I know there is people who love the shit out of games like that, and they wanted more of that.
Yeah.
And I there are people that I like to watch sometimes, just because I like to sort of talk to them during the stream and be that annoying guy in chat that talks way too much, and and I've seen those people like completely go berserk and raging at the game because the game keeps being a bitch against them, and they're still enjoying the fuck out of themselves. I'm like, okay, sure, you don't look like you're enjoying yourself, but if you say so, then you must be.
Well, you know something, I've actually been playing pinball on my big PC right now, and I've got to say, I reckon pinball, it's got to be one of the best, one of America's best inventions with regards to games. I think it's actually such fun, and it's frustrating to the point that you do go back. I understand that thing of I've got to beat the game, but when it just totally destroys your soul every time, I don't know, the rage quit. I never used to rage quit until those really frustrating arcade games. So is
Yeah.
anyone here a proud owner of Elden Ring, or does anyone intend to get it? Because to me, it doesn't look much chop.
Well, I've just seen the people playing it, but that's not my kind of game. And
I
I mean, I see it looks like fun, but
I do not have the patience for those games.
what is patience? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. But I actually bought Fallout 3 because I never played Fallout 3, so I went all the way back to Fallout 3. Took me a bit of trouble to get it going on my PC because the game was too old for my PC.
Well, that's a new one.
took a bit. No, it's not that new. It happens with more games. It took a bit of tweaking. But yeah, I'm having fun with Fallout 3, walking around a post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. The thing with Fallout series though is that you really do personally get invested in your character. Like you really get the customization. Like I don't think any two characters are the same, are they? Throughout the entirety of all the owners, everyone develops in different ways. Fallout sort of keeps that, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, at least there are there are a lot of options to choose from. I mean, of course, of course you can. It's not that hard to build a very specific character with very specific stats if you know exactly what you're doing, which I don't. But yeah, there's a lot of options because you know you have all that kind of different skills and different perks and that sort of thing that help you tweak your character.
Yeah, but yes, something. I mean, I mainly only play one game, and another game, but that's for fun. Is with friends. The other game is Team Fortress 2, and well, I have my playstyle, and that's it. And I mean, currently we are again TF2 has a huge bot problem, which is just say the least mildly annoying, and yeah, it just sucks at times, and yeah.
I
So
I also don't get Team Fortress, but also it's probably because I'm too old.
well, okay, Boomer, you went all in. What is Jin doing? Okay, you follow.
Gonna mess with his head.
Well.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that!
shit.
Oh dear.
No,
Oh,
Thanks for coming, guys. Jesus.
who has the 10? Oh,
No. Who has the
Oh
eight?
my
he's got the
God.
clutch.
well,
Oh,
you happen to have the you're lucky that you're lucky that someone didn't have that 10, man.
I
had
straight
flush.
I actually had a straight two cards in. So I had to start straight at the beginning of the hand. So I fucking thought, oh, here we go. I've got this one. Goddamn.
But
That's
yeah.
nice. I mean, I had to flush from the get-go. It's like, yeah, I mean, whatever you lay down, there's a high chance that I win, a very high chance. I forgot to bet. That's so mildly annoying. Again. Oh boy. I would have nothing anyway.
That was cheap.
Yeah, well, it's something.
Yeah, we'll like to sit out to get some money.
Yeah. After all, I can feed no one. Ooh.
So, with seeing as we're on the video game type of thing, I remember something was brought up once we ever had a TV game show here that used to evaluate games. It was called Good Game. It's actually a really good show. And they point out what is called the Zelda moment. Yeah, where everyone apparently, wow, this is real, and videos made the transition to this is kind of like fun to play. It's immersive. I never had a Zelda moment, but anyone else ever have one of those moments where they got into the game and it clicked and like, fuck, this is fun to play?
Yeah, that was with for me. It was with I mean, playing a game. It was one of which video game is Orcs Must Die 2 and 3 currently. They're both heck a lot of fun to play, and yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Then the other game was it was actually starting its Werewolves of Miller's Hollow, and that's a card game. So it's really fun because it's an immersive role play game, and basically there's so many ways to describe murdering. I learned that from that, and it's fun, especially if you have good players. That then suddenly the whole game gets turned upside down, and those two guys are going to get murdered in the first round anyway, just that they cannot talk. Yes, I love it.
Yeah. To me, it was actually a mobile game called Ingress.
Oh God, yes.
It's an AR game. It's a location-based game. It's basically like capture the flag sort of thing, but then outside. It's pre-Pokemon Go. And you had to conquer points, portals, and then you could make a sort
Had to
of
see what you had, Boomer.
sort of a area between 2 points, and you create a field, and then that field was under control of your faction, and then the other faction could destroy the points and just basically take back over. It was like a constant battle and always 24/7, and I traveled all over Europe for it and and that sort of thing. And when I started playing it, it just clicked, and I started exploring the neighborhood, and then I started exploring the city, and met people through the game, and it was it was a great time.
Yeah, I mean, such kind of game that's usually what brings people really together. I mean, Ingress was, as far as I know, a huge success. But do not quote me. I just know that from certain kind of games that you can really bond over, and that's just frankly amazing.
Ingress at the time was a game that didn't have a huge player base, but the player base was a very loyal player base, and a very community driven player base. I noticed I tried Pokemon Go a little bit, and like as popular as Pokemon Go it didn't have nearly the same community vibe as Ingress ever had.
Yeah, I mean, with Pokemon Go, you're basically a sole player. You can do it isolated quite easily.
Yeah.
And Ingress is team based.
Yeah, with
I mean,
Ingress, you basically cannot play lone wolf. There were a few lone wolves here and there in our area, but you can't really play 100% lone wolf all the time. You have to work together with your faction. And I think that works really well for a game like Ingress. It also scared a lot of people off, probably, but
Yeah, I mean, understandable to be honest. There's a lot of things going on. And Boomer, what the heck do you have? You are. What are you?
What about you, Jin? What was your game that kind of like? Do you have one or?
Jin.
Well, as it sits right now, I have a Mac for a computer, so there's basically no games for that.
Well,
And PS3, so everything's old.
Yeah, but what would it have been? Because Zelda Ocarina of Time was PS3, I think. You know what I mean? Like everybody had that moment. So what about you? Did you have on that or not?
Zelda, they're always Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I was N64. Actually, I had a. What was the original wood grain? Atari, wasn't it? Pitfall was one of those. But so did you Did you play Zelda? I never played Zelda on it though. I played Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire on the N64. Did you do that one?
I didn't have an N64. I had base Nintendo and PS3.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my son's had GameCube and two other ones. Guys, you got two Xboxes. I just don't buy game systems.
Huh? How did Boomer win that? I don't get it.
Clever betting. See, I created the distraction and you didn't see it. That's how good the distraction was. You didn't even notice it.
A pair of 5 and a pair of 3. I had a pair of 10 and a pair of 5. How did you win?
Oh.
Can somebody explain me how he won that?
Oh,
I had two pair.
You paid off the dealer.
Yeah, I've hacked the system. It's rubber banding. You know the way. Remember the old Mario Kart? The way they rubber band you. You sit back in last place, and then you get ricocheted to the front of the pack. Well, that's what I did. I worked out a hack.
Wrong point. You had the 10 and 9, so that was your hand. I looked at Ardawen's. We all had two pairs, but different ones. So my fault. You won that. Sorry. I just looked at the wrong place. So.
So now getting back on topic then after your misinterpretation of whatever is a pretty...
No, wait, Boomer cheated. That's my final conclusion.
So you didn't actually buy any game systems as such? Because I remember there was a time where game systems, they're always really expensive to start with, which you understand because you've got to recoup development costs. But then they all suddenly became really cheap. Like an N64 started at $500, which was pretty good money. It wasn't chump change back then. But it was down to like 180 with free games, with 5 free games as well, 6 months in, because PS and Nintendo were going at each other's throats. So they were always going cheap. But I remember I never paid full retail for a console ever. It was always because they were going to go cheap.
Yeah.
For me, it was that game Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, where you're basically a Han Solo character, but you're doing a parallel adventure to the Star Wars trilogy. It was just fucking good fun to play. And what was the other one? Lara Croft, that Tomb Raider. Because that was the first character that could jump upwards, and then it was a whole new dimension. You could jump and look around. Whoa!
Yeah, that was a kind of a revelation for me too. Plus, he had boobs. pixelated boobs, but it was the first digital boobs I ever saw. So it holds a
I'll
special
take an
memory.
eye out. Oh, so many sharp edges, man. You'd be fucking shredded. You could use them as a cheese shredder. They weren't breasts. They were fucking offensive weapons.
I know, but it were the first digital boobs I ever saw.
Oh well,
in 3D. So I was like, that's kind of memorable. I mean, if you look back at it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Current CG.
Oh, looking back at it.
Current digital boobs are a lot better.
When N64 came out, their whole marketing was, these 64-bit graphics. And at the time, we all bit because it did look good. It was so realistic. And then when you look at graphics now and then look back then, you think, holy fuck, my eyes were theoretically should be worse now. How come this game, was it really that bad?
And it is almost like, from your memory, right? It's almost like you're wearing different glasses looking at it.
Yeah. I think the main one that's a Zelda moment that they call it, I think is out of most people that I know's age group. I think it was actually more 007, GoldenEye on N64, which I've got a feeling
Never had an N64.
But no, that came out later for PS3 or 4, I think, too. But the GoldenEye James Bond one was probably also a really good game back then. But you look at it now, like developing a game, fuck, that must be a huge amount of money. I believe a AAA game now costs up to $100 million to develop. And it takes up to a year of paying people, studios. How do you coordinate all that shit?
That's a job. Coordinating all this shit. That's a job in this industry.
Coordinating the coordinators.
Basically, you have one person or a team of person who is in charge, actually coordinating everything together so that then it goes into one project, and that's basically where all the magic can happen, and also all the magic can fail. It's, at times that's really hard. So you can imagine how many projects can fail at this stage.
Well, yeah, but there's also a similar amount of what do you call it? Research work and precursive work done on, say, the development of a car. Like that Toyota 4-wheel Land Cruiser didn't just fall into existence. It's the same amount of, will we be able to sell these things for a start? Like if you get it wrong, any big company, apparently Mazda nearly went bankrupt over the rotary development. Hey, Microraptor, how are you? Just saw you there.
You kind of saw it with Windows 8. Now, of course, Microsoft wouldn't go bankrupt over that because everyone uses Windows. But you saw with Windows 8, they clearly anticipated that everyone was gonna use like a touchscreen monitor instead of like we still use a mouse and keyboard. So they did just design an operating system with that in mind. And then the market just didn't move with what they had in mind. It was kind of interesting to see.
The touchscreen, I understand why, but that was for phones. That progressed onto the iPhone. So in a sense, they were ahead of their time on that mark. But the touchscreen was never going to work in, say, a bar situation where your hands are wet with drinks. A mechanic. You don't want to break out the little computer diagnostic and have to put your filthy, greasy hands all over it because, believe it or not, mechanics aren't clean. You kind of do get a little bit of oil on your hands.
Not just that, but do you wanna even with clean hands? Do you wanna sit behind your computer and have to wiggle around with your finger on your screen instead of a mouse in your hands? I don't.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. But when you look at the invention of the mouse, that was actually a really clever thing. Whoever came up with that one, brilliant marks.
I was about to say, even with the advent of the stylus, you get greasy hands, those things might just be anywhere and everywhere.
What do you mean by the stylus? I'm not with you.
You've never seen the pencil type stylus that you can use with a touchscreen?
Oh, the BlackBerry or whatever it was. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pull that thing out, and you can't even get a hold of it if you got greasy hands. And then you got to put it back in there greasy. No.
Industry standardization is an important thing in any good product, and you can actually see the way who are the other ones, the evil ones? Everything's different. Steve Jobs, the way they've monopolized it, it makes you not want to do it because you got to buy their shit only. I hate that. And like, if you look at the automotive industry, things took a while to get standardized. Like what we drive now is, a clutch, an accelerator, and a brake on the floor. That took a lot to get standardized. Like a T-model Ford had a 2-speed gearbox, but it was 2 clutches. You push both in and you let out the first one, that was first gear, and then you let out the second clutch, that was second gear. And it was like, a very weird thing to drive. So it's got to get standardized. But they always wait for government departments who are the big contracts, and they kind of, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but our road traffic authority always had last year's computers. They always were crashing, yet they were always buying new ones. So I don't know.
Okay,
And
the
initial use
first.
for spare parts. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
go on.
actually googled the first trackball. Basically, was invented in 1946 by Ralph Benjamin, and it's basically believe it or not, it's basically like a Cold War invention to fire control radar plotting system. Well, it was some kind of military shit.
Yeah, all right. Well, you went a bit quiet there for a start. And Brainless is here. How are you, Brainless?
Hello.
That is probably why I got quiet a bit.
It sounds like you've leaned away from your mic.
Oh.
He's already buried it under his chin.
No. I think I thought I was drowned out. I thought I was probably drowned out by Brainless background noise. But hello, Brainless. How are you doing?
He can't.
I'm
talk.
good. I'm good.
Oh,
I
you
forgot
can
to
talk.
I forgot to hook up my microphone of my headset.
Right.
Hello, good. I'm Flint.
Have you got
Hey,
your?
Flint.
Oh God, dead. Have you dead jokes? My God.
Yes.
Have you got the link to the card table?
Yeah. I've got the link, and I'm sitting down as we speak. Let me.
What was the thing you just Googled, Ardawen? Was that the mouse you're talking about?
That is the mouse. Sorry, yeah, the first trackball. The first trackball. A related pointing device was invented in 1946 by Ralph Benjamin, and it was basically like it had a war application.
Well, actually, during the Second World War, they were looking at developing, I don't know if they actually got it flying, but a pigeon-controlled flying bomb, as in a bomber that was loaded up, a kamikaze bomber with no pilots. And it was to be controlled by pigeons that would peck the screen because the radar blip looked like food for them. So they could do course corrections by radio-controlled pigeon in a Lancaster bomber designed to not come back.
Okay.
Pigeon-controlled, remote-control flying bomber. That was, I'm not fucking lying, I didn't make that up. In fact, that's too obscene to be
Nice
made
straight.
up. That's true.
Thank you.
But Mr. Brainless, sir, how are you doing? How are things going in your neck of the woods?
Oh, it's going pretty well here. Not too much going on. The only actual thing that's kind of going on is that my ex is still, well, she had COVID and now she has pneumonia.
Oh
So,
fuck, yeah.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, not too well, but I just had my boy for 2 days, so yeah.
Well, I hope you had fun.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Love
can
it.
say Well, Brayless, I'm going to be a bit of an Australian skite and point out that you Americans really fell behind the 8 ball with the top right awards. Mitchell from Australia blew you guys out of the water.
He is Dutch.
Yes.
Oh, you Dutch. I thought you were American for some reason. Sorry. Okay. Well, Arwen. Okay, it doesn't matter. You still got
Hey,
someone. You
by
got
the
a
way,
player in
no,
there.
no, thank you, but that would probably mean that I don't have that much of an accent like Ardawen. Thank
Yeah, you don't have that much of an accent as Ardawen.
No, in fact, your accent sounds quite Californian to me.
Oh yeah, well,
I don't know
I think
how
it
I
also
fucked
depends
that up.
on who I'm talking to.
I
Yeah.
wasn't even
If I'm
listening
talking
to
to
you.
a lot
Yeah.
of English people, then my my accent might become a bit more English.
Yeah,
So,
the fun part is when me and my friend are going out doing stuff. Usually, people mistake us as actually people from England because his English is quite well, and mine is well okayish, but they don't know the Swiss accent in English, and so they're just like mostly staring, and I was like, "Yeah, we're just foreigners here." It's like, no, we actually speak the language.
yeah,
It's fun. But yeah.
Well, actually, I've got Dutch descendancy too, Braylon. So, look, me, Ardawen, and you
poor
can
boy.
join in on this. We're going to try and get the tulip back up because if Bitcoin can make it, we reckon the tulip can be currency. What do you think? Because we've got a couple 100 years experience on trading in tulips. I reckon we could corner the market on this. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
They're tulips, man.
Tulip coins.
Oh, hey, at least the tulip is a physical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if we start saying things like, "Oh, it'll cost you 17 tulips," and we just start it like we just start making out that this thing's trading and it's already happening, and people are going to go, "What's this tulips business?" Oh no, sorry, it's very elite, but we'll include you, and then we start the whole tulip economy. I reckon second time it's worth another try.
Well, the disadvantage of the tulips, of course, is that you will have. Well, they're not that easy to store for a long time. Like Bitcoins, you can have them for years; and they'll still be good. Tulips, not that much.
We just.
Yeah, but you can breed them. But you can breed tulips. You can't breed bitcoins. You can't put 2 bitcoins in a paddock and come back and have thousands of bitcoin a month later. Tulips you can breed. See, I reckon we've got this.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, and then we have inflation, and then yeah.
I find
Yeah,
your
but
lack of faith
inflation doesn't count on tulips.
Flint, I find your lack of faith disturbing, and that comment usually is preceded by a force choke. So be very careful. Don't undermine the tulip economy. You might be upsetting powers well beyond your belief. Sorry, that's
You
not a
mean the
Underestimate the
windmills?
power of the tulip.
You mean the windmills?
Well,
Yeah.
all I'm going to say is, look, it's circumstantial evidence, but there have been tulip deniers have been found brutally beaten to death in dump masters. And I'm not saying that I've been doing that, but I'm just pointing out that you might pay to not upset people to do with the tulip economy. Okay,
Well, first you need to find me. That's the first thing you need to do.
Flint, we know
But
where you
okay,
are.
I was kind of
You're in,
thinking.
you're in Switzerland. There's 4 people. We only need to kill all 4 of you, and we're done.
Yeah, well, we have witness protection program. Did you know that? It works so well. 2 are hiding with one, and the other one doesn't know where he is.
Good. All right. So
Wait,
now
there's a lot. There's a mistake in the logic there. No, it's sound. It's
Oh,
good.
hey, demon.
Hello,
Hey,
demon.
Demon Orb. I heard Demon Orb's voice the other day. He was on Crafty Keeler, and I was expecting someone taller, actually. Hey, once in, how are you? You want to join in? We've got a space at the table.
Yeah, the top left is still free. I've and you can settle in between Australia and what was it, USA, Jin?
Yes.
Good one. I guessed right. So yeah, so you can go over there. That's fine with me.
Let's see.
So we're also going to need a tulip exchange rate, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
But how many
Because I know that.
tulips are roses?
Roses.
No, because I know that there's a great big tulip farm up north of Seattle here.
Well, we'll talk about the exchange rate for the petro tulip when the time comes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different type of tulip.
Yeah, well,
No. In the near future, like not long after we build the tulip-based economy, then oil is gonna be traded in tulips.
oh well. I just recently had, if you're mentioning gas, I saw a post from somebody like, yeah, I need to pay about what was it, $70 to fill my tank. And I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, let's look that up, calculate it, and it's like, and the road back said, yeah, double that, and then you have about European prices.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah,
Yeah,
if
it's
they
kind
if
of
get over
funny.
here,
It's kind of
it is-
funny, like, yeah, you Europeans, you don't understand. We pay this much per gallon on our gasoline. Like, dude, we pay twice that much.
yeah, we paid twice that much before and still. So let's just, well, yes, it's just so funny.
Hey,
Actually.
Good old
just be
American
smart like me.
centrism.
Hmm?
Just be like me. Be smart. Just ride a bicycle.
Oh yeah,
Mobility
I-
scooter here. Like,
yeah.
you bicycle person, you need to put you know. Oh,
What? Hey, that's good. It's good for me. Come on, I need it.
Wait,
I
need
no. You two are Dutch. You don't have anything to say about it. You basically half of your population are bicycles. So shush. Meanwhile, I'm actually taking the train and bus to work now because it's easier. My work is directly at the main station or in the city, so that's one thing. But leave my car alone.
Well, to be honest, like when I go to work, I got a work van, so
well, yeah, okay.
And now there's it. No, you're not getting
But
off.
that's the thing. We probably don't have to pay your boss's gasoline. So
no, it's well, it's my boss pays it,
yeah, that's
So-
why. Yeah,
so indirectly the customers.
Mm.
Well, actually, guys, apparently in Rotterdam, the police stumbled onto a stash of 56 drums of petrol. They reckon it was valued about $12 million. The drums were hidden in a shipment of Venezuelan cocaine.
I see that. That was brilliant. That was yeah. There's not a lot that I sent on to my dad, but that one I had to push forward. Like, oh,
I mean, there have been quite a lot of jokes going around. It's like, yeah, there's going to be a care person for people who are going to go fill up their tanks just because of the price change.
Oh, you know what's
Well-
also a pretty good joke? So like a week and a half ago, basically all restrictions the last restrictions got dropped, and today people decided therefore to protest against the restrictions. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Please wait until Flint boots
Well-
up again.
Oh.
We're currently waiting to reboot the system. Please wait.
Well, it's interesting. So they're actually protesting the lockdown conditions, which don't exist anymore. So
Well,
hang on. What?
yes,
Did they not watch the news?
You got it, Boomer. You got it.
Yeah,
there are
so, hang on, how come this hasn't fallen over?
because it's still officially a pandemic. There is basically still an emergency law in place that, you know, without too much interference of the entire parliament, they could reinstate restrictions again, because we're still in a pandemic and etc. etc. And I think from what I understood, they in part still protesting against death. It's just that they don't trust that the government is ever gonna say like, okay, pandemic over. and therefore the law doesn't apply anymore. Which they also said about the restrictions. They also said like, oh no, guys, the curfew, get used to the curfew. They're never gonna stop with the curfew, and they stopped with the curfew. And they said, trust me, guys, the bars are never gonna open. That's never gonna happen. And the bars are open again. That sort of thing, you know. And now they said, trust me, guys, that emergency law will never gonna get dropped. It's gonna get dropped by the end of the year.
I mean, ours just got dropped, and I mean, okay, I understand it that suddenly the world isn't the same anymore. I mean, who was that? The guy with the red beard, the Irish guy, Computing Forever, was it right? He's like, he made a huge video about was like, yeah, everything changed after 9/11 and stuff. Like you wouldn't have been guessing that actually security checks will be taken in place for planes, etc. Like, yeah, for me that's like, because people are stupid, therefore you need to make extra measures to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. And now suddenly we got a bit smarter and see, oh, well, stuff can happen with pandemics, and if we do this, and this, then suddenly pandemic doesn't do much anymore. Like, oh wow, we got smarter, and now it's
well,
like,
we don't. To be honest, I don't want to get into it too much, but we're still not getting into the real conversations, right? Because everything was remote. Remote instead of traveling all across the world to do all these to do some meetings, and now suddenly it's like, no, it's still way too important to see each other face to face. So now that it's safe again to do that, we should do that again. And I'm like, no, learning a lesson is one of the reasons the pandemic, the virus was allowed to be spread so freaking fast, is that we travel way too much.
Yeah.
If we think like, oh, we have this really important meeting, and we then still we justify traveling to have across the world to have this really important meeting. Well, they're you know,
okay.
secure connections and that sort of thing are for 80% of the meetings are suffice more than enough, and everyone could just stay in their own countries and not travel as much, which would be better for the environment too.
Yeah, okay. I understand that point quite well, but I understand it also if somebody says in country, like, yeah, we go over there to discuss things. I mean, I just basically started a position where I'm actually not I actually for the first time in my life I signed an NDA, a real NDA, and then it just got clear why you shouldn't share and when and where and with whom you shouldn't share things. And then it's actually the best thing is you do it in person, because anything digital, if you don't want it to get out, you need to have basically just be in the same room, unless you're getting spied on by real hard. Then yeah, but let's say it's just a normal meeting about production, which is half good knowledge which you need to know. Then it's like,
But like I said,
you can do it online. You can do it online.
Boomah.
Yes.
Oh, hang on, guys. Yeah, geez, that was a big one.
Nerd.
I
Yes.
actually discussed this years ago because we have things called CHOGMs, Commonwealth Heads of Government meetings, where people from Kenya, Uganda, India all get together in an area that's a security nightmare, and it technically shuts down the city. Now, I have brought this up with many people in political parties who have got ties with this. And it's not about the meeting, the Zoom meeting we can have. It's the corridors of power in these rather large governmental type scenarios. So although what appears to be okay for us, yeah, most of us can do a Zoom meeting. Where the real decisions are made around these high level power trips are outside the meetings. and you can't do that in a Zoom meet. You've got to do that other ways. And they all just want to get together and have a drink as well. That's the thing. It's not about power. It's about getting on the piss. And it's a junket. It's a rort, I guess. It's a perk of the job, they say. Yeah. So, yeah. Although it's good, we still do have needs to travel.
Or at least take security measures and when you
But
meet.
but also friends of my mom's, they said like, oh, we haven't been on vacation this year. What was it? You went to Germany for a week. Yeah, but that's Germany. That's not really vacation. And to them, it's only a vacation if they went somewhere to some exotic country on the other side of the world.
Please wait until Flint starts again. Reboot in process.
And with all due respect, if you have the money and stuff like that, sure, but it's like to the idea that like, oh, that's only Germany for a week, that's not really vacation, then that sort of attitude, that sort of is kind of like
that sucks. I mean, we got a motorhome for a reason, and my parents are planning going on holiday into France. And yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, I have mine planned out as well, but I need to see what I actually can do since my vacation is a bit short. I only have 4 weeks now, but I think I can handle it if I say, yeah, I'm working a bit more then and compensate it then for blah de blah, you see, and stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's trying to get a good look with my employer. So I think it will be fun. Yeah. So, but I really get the same. It's like, I didn't go on holidays. Like, yeah. I mean, what was that with Germany? Like, yeah, it's not holidays. Like, yes, it is. No, it isn't. Like,
Are you having a conversation with yourself or something there?
yeah.
Are you having a
I'm
We'll
fascinated.
sit back and you can do it. Yeah, just go for it, mate.
Boomer, no, we don't have a conversation with ourselves. Definitely not. Shut up. No.
Yeah, that makes us a bit disturbed. But it gets kind of funnier because there was these demonstrations against the lockdown that doesn't exist anymore. But then the trains today all died until the end of the day. So then people were saying on Twitter like, "Oh, there is this demonstration in that town against the corona lockdowns, and all the trains are broken. Is it coincidence?"
Okay.
Yeah, we actually had one where they said bushfires here in Australia when we were having our bushfire season 2 years ago. All the bushfires are starting near railway lines. It's a conspiracy. No, railway lines just happen to provide the great way for fires to spread. You know what I mean? Like, it's a perfect gradient. Isn't it amazing how they all need to find this conspiracy of some kind?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, you're looking for patterns, and we are pattern seeking. We are a pattern seeking creature. Though sometimes there is a coincidence about why something is starting there, but it's not the one which you think. I mean, there are plenty of weird those kind of coincidences which were like, yeah, there's a conspiracy, and then it was like, yeah, actually they were right-ish, as in, yeah, just not the rest part, just yeah, the fire were getting started, whatever. I don't remember any, but
well, there was one conspiracy that was right: the Watergate Hotel with Richard Nixon. Like, there have been. What happens though? They, rather than be nice and simple conspiracies like flat Earth, if they want to go and find the NRA, donate heavily to both sides of politics in order to keep gun laws the way they are to America at absurd levels, but it's free market. That's a conspiracy that could be chased up. But it's gun dudes. They're going to kill you if you affect their bottom line. So,
well, another example I think is like, I think before, I think like when you said before the Iraq War that it was probably not true that there were chemical weapons in Iraq, you will you would have been called a conspiracist. And what did it turn out? That there weren't actually any chemical weapons in Iraq. You know, that sort of thing. Like there's always gonna be conspiracies that are true or have like a grain or true or something like that. That's sort of, yeah.
Well, if 1,000 monkeys on 1,000 typewriters all come up with a conspiracy theory, one of them might be close to a real one.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not just that, but it's also sometimes it's people do have some genuine proof, but because for example the with the Iraq War and saying that there weren't any chemical weapons there. You have the government and the entire and the media just believing the government against you if you say like, hey, that I don't. If you're a genuine expert and say like, hey, all of this evidence doesn't line up, you still have the entire media apparatus and the government facing you with the counterword.
Yeah, I mean, at times I'm really surprised at how gullible people are, and though I'm no exception to that.
Oh yeah, no.
I've been fooled many times, and since then it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna trust you on anything you say because I've been fooled too many times, and some people actually see that as some kind of mistrust. But sorry, you have, I've, yeah, I've seen too much.
I'm on 80% of the things that I know. I am prepared to be wrong, basically.
Yeah, that's a good stand to have. It's just like, yeah, I could be wrong. I'm not sure, and that's not the position of weakness. That's just admitting that you could be at fault. That's nothing has to do with the stance of your argument. It's like, yeah, I'm willing to be corrected, and I'm seeing. I mean, has anybody seen the saga with Christ Righteous and Logic?
No.
So that guy is just the pinnacle of being just dishonest and being just generally an arse, as just all them arsehole, everything. It's just projection, everything.
But hang on. So on your basis, you haven't brought any evidence to suggest that. So what you're doing, you're actually saying you don't want to trust people. If someone's got something that's going to overturn the world, I say, hey, I've discovered that birds are fake. The next bit is because, and I then present why I think birds are fake. And what you just then said, that guy says this, that he's an arsehole. But the bottom line is, everyone else still has to determine why he's an arsehole because you didn't really bring any evidence to the table there.
Can I get to the point why he is
sorry.
an arsehole?
Oh, okay. It is. All right.
Basically, Logic made the video about him. He just basically blocked him on every platform. He asked him nicely to just have a discussion, nothing more. He just never answered. He never watched one of his videos and is going off on him like, yeah, I know what you're saying anyways. And that's for me, it's like, yeah, he admitted it himself. So if that isn't an arsehole, I don't know.
So the Christian version of Danny Pratt.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody
watching your videos,
yeah, just saying, the next video on Logic's channel is gonna be awesome because I on his mailing list, and if anybody knows him, it's with Rax, and it's really funny. I love to watch it. So if anybody wants payment for about 40 minutes, that's just go watch it, please.
Yeah, Logic is alright. I don't. Yeah. He's not one of my favorite, but he's alright. Yeah.
It's not one that I follow a lot, but yeah, the stuff that I've seen from him, I quite like.
Yeah, go watch his next video, which should be coming out today-ish. So yeah,
Oh, so in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
yeah, I mean,
no, it's probably closer to another 5 hours
No, 2 hours.
What?
What? No, what?
to YouTube. I'm
Yeah.
not on the early.
Well, we normally leave the shilling other channels to kind of the end of the game. But if you're going to take, just try to keep it under 7 minutes or so, I suppose. All right.
Yeah, so it should be.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm back to intrigued about this point you brought up earlier, Ardawen, about the protests against what could be a protest that's not a protest. How many people turned up? I'm curious to know.
From what I know, a couple of hundred.
So that's shit. That's a terrible rally then. I mean, minimum rally, you expect at least 1,000, wouldn't you? So is this just like the Canadian truckers sort of thing? A pack of idiots, not very big pack, but a lousy minority.
And a big conspiracist was set to speak there too, but he got arrested for not keeping to his agreement. Yeah.
What's fantastic about a conspiracy is the fact that you've got absolutely no evidence to it actually is proof as to how good that conspiracy is, because they've managed to cover up all traces of it. And that's the appeal of the conspiracy to the average low IQ conspiratard, I guess. The QAnon fan, like, don't they lap up the QAnon? In fact, is Q still around? Has he managed to bribe Biden or what? Anyone know? Has QAnon disappeared now?
I think QAnon's still around.
Man, you said the cute word. I need a drink.
Well,
Make a deal.
we actually have politicians spewing Q shit here in the Netherlands.
I mean, don't get me started on here. I mean, I mentioned it beforehand, before the show starting. There are actually also people in here, and one of the largest parties in here in Switzerland, which is called the SVP, as SVP, Sierra Victor Papa. They are the leadership of that party is like spewing a lot of BS about Putin. For him, it's like really disturbing, and everybody who's part of that party should now distance themselves from that party because the leadership is spewing that shit.
Oh man, now you all first
Yeah.
you started with the Q word, now the P word.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
Okay.
I'll be drunk in a bit. In a minute.
Okay, then I gotta mention something. Willem Engel.
Sorry,
Hmm?
I
Say again.
Willem Engel.
I don't follow politics that much.
No, it's not a politician. It's a co-idiot. He was he was like really on the front end of basically inciting the protests and inciting violence. That's why he got arrested.
A proper idiot. Okay, fine. I get
Yes,
it.
a proper idiot. He got arrested for incitement, and he got released, and then like a couple of days ago, on the promise that because the investigation is still going, he isn't allowed to say anything on social media. But he went on a YouTube show, and therefore he was arrested again while he was on his way to speak at a protest.
What's he being charged with?
Incitement.
All right, so they've actually got things where he has created not healthy social. What he says creates riots, does it? He has that influence,
yeah. I assume they have the proper evidence for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So,
always curious as to how that stuff flies, because it is really hard to nail someone.
I'm
that
curious
whole freedom
too.
of speech. Yeah,
I'm
the whole freedom
curious
of
too.
speech.
Yeah.
Borderline over your right to be a fucking idiot, and it's not freedom of consequences, I suppose, is it?
No. So I'm very curious as to see where it goes, because it's always tricky because yeah, exactly, freedom of speech.
Yeah, I've not heard that pop up in the media yet.
Not.
No.
It has
Well,
been.
all I pick up is when I'm at work and there is a regular radio station on.
Okay.
That I don't often seek out the news.
Well, I when I'm still in bed trying to wake up, I usually just scroll nu.nl.
Oh yeah. When you're still in bed, when I'm already at work, probably.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, it's got to be a difference, right?
Hey man, listen. I have a white collar job, and I work 10 minutes. I live 10 minutes from my work, so
Oh, lucky bastard.
I
Yeah.
know.
He's a lucky bastard.
What?
Yeah, he's a lucky bastard.
Yes, I step on my. I basically I can roll out of bed into my clothes, step on my mobility scooter, and arrive at work in the span of less than 30 minutes.
And now he's bragging.
Hey, that's what we Dutch do best.
Oh, yeah, right.
Not much to brag about.
Excuse me, I forgot.
Yeah.
We it doesn't matter if it is anything to brag about. If it is,
If it's something.
if it is just a little bit like, oh, we think this school will brag all day.
Yeah. Kind of like Americans.
Mm.
Well, you don't have much to brag about. Trees rolling, canal jumping, windmills,
Tulips.
golden earring.
don't
Actually,
forget
golden
the
earring. Actually, there's a
Winkelwagen.
good band came out of Holland. Golden earring. so
Winkelwagen.
Don't forget
And
Winkelwagen.
Wigglewagon, of course. That's it. Wigglewagen. That's the best thing to come out of Holland.
And,
Put that in your Wigglewagen.
and we basically started capitalism.
Right.
Yeah.
You also ate a prime minister or two.
Damn.
It's always cool when you eat prime ministers. Any country that eats a prime minister, it's pretty fucking
And
cool.
we had a riot over eels.
Yeah, no, but I mean, look at Americans. They don't like a president. They just shoot him. Dutch, they don't like a prime minister. They eat him. Now, what's the better message to your politicians to keep them honest? We're gonna fucking eat you. We're not just gonna kill you. We're gonna fucking actually take it an extra level. Pass the
Yes,
sauce.
well,
Anyway,
that's what you get.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're talking about people who had an eel riot. So
What?
that eel riot was fully justified. I remember it. I was there. The eel riots were not pretty.
okay, so basically, you had eel pooling, paling trekken, and it was illegal, but people were still doing it in Amsterdam. And so the police came to stop it. The people didn't want to stop it because it was like a popular sort of thing to do. And it turned into a riot that killed about 100 people and lasted like 3 days or something.
And
Well,
eel
back
pulling-
back in like
eel pulling was
the
cut
like
off.
back in
It
like the
was killed in
1700s or something. Or so.
But eel pulling was killed in its infancy. Had that not happened, it would have been a international sport now. Eel pulling would have been in the Olympics, no problem.
Yeah.
That was the big loss,
Yeah.
I think, anyway. The fact that eel pulling was lost to the world. Can you want to explain the game for people who don't know? Because it's a fucking cool story. Fuck you, Jin. I thought I had that one too. Yeah, it pissed me off. The little cake come on before it's revealed the hand, so I knew I'd lost. Fuck, that's tough.
Yeah, but keep in mind, it was the eel riot was in 1868, so that was like
19th century.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it.
no,
And the Pommy's got fucking cricket to fly. I mean, for fuck's sake.
no.
what's better to watch, cricket?
It was something that happened in Dutch history, which I also didn't know about until I happened to learn about it on YouTube. So don't feel bad.
I wonder if that's where Monty Python got their fish slapping skit from.
Okay, so basically with eel pooling, what it was. They had a rope over the canal, and in the middle of the rope, there was like and they tied an eel in the middle of the rope, and then someone was standing on a wobbly boat, was sort of being going to like kind of towards the eel, and they had to like they had to kind of row their boat towards the eel and then stand up, and they had to like on a wobbly boat while they were moving had to like grab the eel and then pull the slimy eel, and if you pulled the eel off, then you had won basically.
Okay.
Sort of like one of those
I'd
games they play
imagine
at Harley
wasn't-
Davidson.
It makes marginally more sense than soccer or cricket. Why would you play a game where you have two perfectly good arms, and why would you, well, play cricket? I mean, fuck. So eel pulling, I reckon, makes more sense than both of those games.
Well, I
And
imagine it was a live eel.
Yeah. It was also live eel, so it was also twitching, but it was also slimy. So like grabbing it is also kind of tricky because
Oh, and they're grumpy little bastards too. They're not touchy-feely. I've never met an eel that's been pleasant and has good social etiquette. They just fail school badly. Their manners suck.
Oh,
Well, it also kind of makes sense that eels are still kind of a thing here.
Yeah.
So we eat them raw with onions.
Some people do.
Well, you eat
Well,
them. So is that
at probably every fish stall you can get raw. You can get raw eel, especially in
Did the
season.
successful eel puller get the honour of taking his eel home and eating it, I wonder?
I
That'd be
guess
nice.
so.
Yeah. So, there you go. The famous sport of eel pulling. Still, though, Prime Minister eating, I think, is a better sport myself.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh.
Nah, prime ministers are too fatty.
Oh, and what was the story?
Eating
What did
Prime
they do?
Minister? When did that happen?
Oh, 17th century, 16th century, I think. I mean, it was a meme, and I read it on Facebook, so it has to be true. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
it's
way
on
that I
Facebook.
thought- Yeah, of course. And it was a meme. I mean, a meme on Facebook. If you, yeah, there's no better than that.
If it's on Livebook, it's got to be real.
Yep. I can see court cases in about 20 years' time. So what evidence do you have? Your Honour, here's my meme presentation. Ah, yes, guilty as charged. Yeah, that'll happen. What was that other one in Holland, I think, where someone assassinated the king or the prime minister who had only just got reinstated from the Spanish about 10 years earlier, and they caught the assassin and, what they did to him. Did they boil
yeah.
him in oil and
Oh,
strip
yeah.
him? Oh, dude, it was
the death of Balthasar Gerards was a pretty gruesome death, and they pretty much they tortured him pretty bad.
Yeah, I think what they do, break every bone in his body. Then when he died, brought him back to life, and stripped off his skin and popped his eyes out and skull fucked him. But oh, dude, it was just, and that's the tip of the iceberg. They weren't happy with it.
I'm hearing somebody that wished he was there, helping.
I was there. I was one of the skin pullers.
Oh, I thought you were one of the skull fuckers.
Yeah. Oh no, you didn't do that back then. I had some decency about me. Nowadays, I don't care. You
let me see if I can see it.
See if you can see it.
No, I can't
At
see
his
it.
trial, Gerard was sentenced to be tortured in America, considered brutal by the standards at the time. Gerard was hung on a pole and lashed with a whip. Next, his wounds were smeared with honey, and a goat was brought to lick the honey off his skin with its rough tongue. The goat, however, refused to touch his body.
Oh
At least you
well.
go that stage.
After several other forms of torture, he was left to pass the night with his hands and feet bound together like a ball, so sleep would be difficult. During the following 3 days, he was repeatedly mocked and hung on a pole with his hands tied behind his back. Then a weight of 300 metric ton, 150 kilo, was attached to each of his big toes for a half an hour.
Oh fuck! Holy fuck!
Subsequently, Gerard was fitted with shoes made of well-oiled, uncured dog skin. The shoes were 2 fingers shorter than his feet. In this state, he was put before a fire. When the shoes warmed up, they contracted, crushing the feet inside them to stumps. When the shoes were removed, his half-broad skin was torn off. After his feet were damaged, the armpits were branded. He was then dressed in a shirt soaked in alcohol. Lastly, burnt bacon fat was poured over him, and sharp nails were stuck between the flesh and the nails of his hands and feet. On 14th of July, 4 days after the assassinations, the sentence declared at trial was carried out, and Gerard was tortured and executed on the market square of Delft. His severed head was then placed on a pike behind the Prinsenhof. In his arms and leg displayed on the 4 gates of the city. Do you think they were angry?
Nah.
No. That sounds like
Okay, now you just heard all that. I've got this picture, this mental picture of this really old sort of house in somewhere in Rotterdam, and all these guys are pitching the ideas. Right, what are we going to do? Yeah, let's get a goat to lick his wounds. Let's get salt. Let's get honey. Like, wow, that was brutal, man. People were really angry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was even considered extraordinary brutal at the time.
Yeah. Like, and at that time, yeah.
now what I must point out though is, were there any assassinations in the Netherlands after that? And I'm guessing no.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
There were. Oh,
Yes.
so that didn't send a message.
oh, oopsie. Oh well.
But the rest of the country got more civilized, so they didn't get tortured.
I think he's even already a free man.
Yeah. He lives in Germany now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey? What?
Yeah.
I thought it was a couple hundred years ago.
No. Well, no. Like, how long ago was that?
Oh, well, we actually had like well, he wasn't a politician yet, but he was a
Well,
candidate.
he was a politician. He was not elected yet, but
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was running.
Yeah, he was running, and he got assassinated by some guy. I think in like the early 2000s.
Let's see.
But yeah, the guy that shot him did get like 2002. He did get a jail sentence, but you know, with good behavior and just like that, just like any normal person that murdered that murdered someone, he already got off, and he's already a free man, which is weird to think about because it's like I can remember that, and it was like pretty big on the news, and you know, it's yeah,
Pretty big, yeah.
because it doesn't happen every day that like a candidate of someone who was probably gonna be the prime minister
Yeah.
he gets killed. And then we thought that he was pretty extremely right wing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish it would have stayed at his level of right wing.
Yeah. With him, I was not. It was he was right wing, but he also had good points. Like
Well,
that someone like that is needed, not in the base, but you need somebody that keeps kicking the bucket. That's just something you need.
Well, there are some narrow-minded.
Yeah.
There are some narrow-minded toe rags out there, and they do need to be represented by someone, which is a Billy Bragg comment. But he said it once on a TV show here, and I thought that's so. In fact, it's so significant it stuck with me. But yeah, even the narrow-minded toe rags need to be represented. Holy fuck! That means there's more than one of them.
Mm.
That's a sad thing. Ooh.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of weird how time works because it was such a big event. It was by the time it was
Yeah.
announced that he was gonna be released, I think pretty much everyone was like, already. But yeah, I remember that he didn't get an awful high. It was an awful. No, he got a normal punishment. That was it. It was like he didn't get treated as.
Oh, thank you. Flush. Yay! Finally caught a break. Woohoo.
Is that like the fourth one today?
What?
No, I haven't been going well at all. In
Yeah,
fact,
but is
you
that like
can't
the
gamble
fourth
with Murray.
flush on this table today?
I think so.
I've had two. Or is
Oh, well,
it three?
I've only had one.
Oh well.
Yeah, you get
Oh,
that.
you can scroll back and
Here's the
check.
thing, though, with people that get locked away for those massive, those times in year they got out. Oh, but he was a model prisoner and he really behaved himself well, so we thought he'd let him out. For fuck's sake, how do you not be a model prisoner in prison? If you're a fuck ass, you get shanked. So you got to be kind of okay. Being a good prisoner, I don't think is grounds to be let out early, unless you're really genuinely remorseful and shit. But it seems
Yeah,
bizarre the way they let some of
I
these
I
people
don't
out.
I think that it was also that they also look at the chance of
Of it
of you
happening
doing
again. Yeah.
of you're doing it again, and
Yeah.
I believe that they figured like the chance that he's gonna do it again is pretty slim. So
Unfortunately, that's not something you want to get wrong, depending on the crime, of course.
that is
But
absolutely true. On the
yeah,
other hand, yeah. I also wouldn't want it to be too extreme on the other side, where they say like, well, yeah. I'm a little bit I'm a bit mixed about that.
we have a situation here though where, and I've never been done drunk driving, so I don't think I'm playing the victim here because I'm actually dead against them. But if you get caught, you can go and plead your case and say, I won't do it again, Your Honour, because rah, rah, rah. And they say, well, we could believe you, or we could just put an immobilizer in your car, in which case you're guaranteed to not offend. And you've got to pay for it. So you've now got this little breathe in the bag thing on your car to make sure you're not drunk. And that's the way they opt now. The magistrates just think, well, I could believe you, but this way I know. So then, since they use the technology against us, I'm sort of not against it, but I'm also not 100% for it either.
I think they tried to do it here too, but some experts actually managed to manage to convince people to not do it, because it's also like what if the machine breaks and that sort of thing, like that all that sort of like
Yeah. Well, but at that point, if the machine doesn't work, then
your car won't
and
go.
like
Your car
yeah,
won't go,
well,
and
then your car don't go. Then you call
well,
for it to
yeah,
be repaired, just like when your car breaks down.
yeah, but the thing is a little bit like to what degree do you and how long do you want to keep punishing people for a specific crime? That's sort of
Yeah. So
Yeah, of course, but like there should be a but like if you have that, there should be like a set time that people
yeah.
will get. That you get that machine in your car.
They do. Yeah,
that
it's a
sh-
set
that should not be indefinite.
Yeah, but the thing is, you also have to pay maintenance and pay for the machine, so it's an ongoing fine.
Yeah.
But look, drink
Yeah,
driving is a serious thing because you do.
yeah.
There have been a lot of people. It's one of those things where I think, okay, if your previous records nothing, and you did maybe just have 2 beers and were a little bit over, it's a bit rough to get the harsh end of it. But on the opposite side, when you get those serial fucking pissheads who just are going to keep driving regardless, you've got to stop them. And I do know a
Yeah.
few of them. And the drunks I know, yeah, they're irresponsible. Drunks by their nature are not responsible human beings. You know what I mean? I don't mean any
No,
of us who just have a beer.
I absolutely agree. But what I would personally do is look at okay, what happens here? People want to go out to drink at friends or a bar, whatever, and then they want to go home. So instead of looking at ways to go harder after the people drinking and driving, maybe I should look at the availability of some form of public transportation in the evening hours.
Yeah.
Taxis are a thing.
Yeah, but how
As
much?
are Ubers.
Sure,
Are you
but
ready for this? I know a guy.
also affordable transport.
I knew a guy
If you
in
can't
Sydney.
afford to go to the pub, then don't go to the pub.
Yeah, and drive home responsibly. You got to make tracks to get home. You can't drive pissed. That's it. But here's the thing: I knew a guy who used to go to the football and watch. He used to like rugby in Sydney, and the thing of it was he could drive his car all the way in. He get a cab in, and it cost him about $80 round trip, or he could drive his car in, get a tow truck to come to it, pick him up, take him home drunk, and drop him in his car back at his driveway. The car wasn't broken down; it was just a towing job for the towie, and he used to do it. It worked. It was cheaper than taxis both ways. So that's really good way of thinking outside the box. That cabbie and drive his truck onto the back.
Guys,
that's still safe.
Yeah, guys, I'm heading off. I need to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You sound like it.
Thank you for coming,
Okay.
Flint, and have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Pleasant dream.
Good night
Flint
and sweet
done-
dreams.
Okay.
Hey, Nimrod, how are you?
Hey, Nimrod.
Oh, hey Nimrod.
Okay. So where were we there? We were talking about
Drunk driving.
the.
Drunk
Oh
drunk.
yes, the
Yeah,
guy who used to take the tow truck home. That was really clever. I call that responsible drunkenness. I love the idea of
Yeah.
using a tow truck so you're not driving drunk. He's doing everything right. He's found the cheapest way. It's a kind of a hack. I thought that's cool.
Yeah, no, I can respect that, you know. And like with the machine, I don't say like put that in as soon as you get caught drunk driving, but like if you get like caught like 3 times,
Yeah, no, sure.
yeah, then I say put a machine in.
I
you
would
know?
also maybe before the machine step, maybe that's by the third one, and maybe by the second one I would put in a mandatory course.
No, keep that at the first.
Or maybe the first. Yeah, the first one is also good.
And,
yeah.
and at the moment it is.
Yeah,
because
you have to
I
go.
had a colleague.
Well, yes, at the first one, depending on how much. If it's like 0.1 above
the cops had to they had to pin him down with 2 cars.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, yeah, but yeah, because I'm also very in favor of that sort of thing, because especially when they are actually confronted, because in the courses those courses can be like really confronting, because then they confront people, then they often confront people with no, not with everyone. I absolutely agree, not with everyone, but they often show what the consequences can be, and there's even if it's 25% of the people going to that course that get scared off of it, that's enough for me.
Yeah, well, like my colleague also, he had to go to one of those courses, and like he came in, he was sitting there in the waiting room, and like people were coming in, like, "Hey, Jim, you're here again? Yeah, me too."
Well, no, yeah,
like what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck? Those people, you need. Yeah, no, I think actually, drunk driving, if it's like a high amount over the limit, I think at a certain point there should be jail
Oh yeah.
because it's basically attempted murder. Because like when you get in your car drunk, your car is a murder weapon.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, or at least reckless endangerment. Even if you don't hit anything or just like yeah. What?
Oh,
What the
good
fuck
night.
you got?
Oh, big hand here, guys. Whoa. Wow, we must be sitting on something, guys. A split pot.
I don't know. Fuck it. I
Oh,
don't care. I
you
don't care.
come on,
I
you
don't care. I just
serious.
want to see what you got.
I'm
At this
staying
point,
for
I
you,
don't
buddy.
fucking
I'm coming after you. No way you're getting out of this, Gin.
care.
Fine.
Changing your name so that we wouldn't know it was you. But we know it's you over there. Just because you're under a different name doesn't mean you're going to get away with it. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Got you, man. Nice.
Nice.
That
That
was
is a nice
beautiful.
one. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what do you got? What do you got that I don't have?
Is it the way you look at me? Oh, sorry.
Oh, fuck. That was a good one. Thanks. I needed that. Ah.
Oh, it's,
It's all right. You know the term, brainless, you know the term sucker money, don't you? You do know how that works. Yeah.
Shut up. Don't fucking burst my bubble.
oh, we're coming along. We're coming around. Is it the second hour?
Ooh.
We're in it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we're an hour and 45 in, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I thought it was getting to that like that.
When you're having a
haven't
nice
been-
chat, then time goes by really fast.
Doesn't it? But I haven't been going well tonight in the cards. I mean, the children of the orphanage are not going to be getting a side dish of lettuce with their gruel this week. I hope you're feeling good, knowing that you're taking
Good,
money out of the
good,
children's
good.
mouths. I come here to gamble with the children's orphanage fund to hopefully buy them a meal and put petrol in the Maserati. But obviously, you need the money more than the orphans do. So
Hell
I,
yeah.
hope you I
Hell
really
yeah.
hope you enjoy the money. The children won't.
A couple of weeks back, when I was sitting home with Corona, I bought myself a 3D printer, so I need the money.
Wow, you got a 3D
that
printer.
filament
Cool.
don't pay for itself.
No, and that shit
What
is
the
fun.
heck?
It's fun, and I actually got my kid to enjoy it. Like at one point, we had the I don't know if you know the game, the Roblox. It's online, and like you can make worlds yourself as well. And I exported a model out of that he made and printed it. Then he realized, oh wait, I can make something. So that's fun. So now he's also kind of into making thingies. So that's
I've
nice.
been watching on the YouTube lately. There's been these little clips of people restoring old Matchbox and the bigger scale cars. You know, the ones about 2 by 6 inches, and they're restoring the cars like all little airbrushing and making up bits and pieces. It's very rewarding to watch. They're a really satisfying video clip. And the thing, although 3D printers are a good thing, I really enjoyed scratch building shit when I was a kid. You know, like actually making stuff out of other stuff. I always loved that side. And I think the 3D printer, don't let them go always into that easy way out too.
No,
but making things
like
also
well, he's 10, you know.
Yep.
So like no, but like he always likes any game where you can make something, like Minecraft or whatever. They're like a ton of those kind of games these days. And the more intricate it is, the more he enjoys it. So I
Yeah.
think this is a good way to get it from the screen into his hands.
Yep.
So yeah,
You know, I actually got a Meccano set when I was about 11, I think, and I've got to say it stands out still as probably one of the best toys I ever had. Having all these nuts and bolts and brackets and shit to
Meccano
play with.
and Lego, I think those are two of the best kinds of toys there are.
Yeah, but did you know Lego is a conspiracy? They're all actually little robots. They're nanobots. They're going to rise up and take over the world.
Oh,
You know, there's
all the
more-
minifigs. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
hey,
Don't
hey,
go releasing
shut-
it. Don't go releasing
shut-
that secret into the wild, Boomer.
Shut up, man!
Now we quickly.
I've worked so fucking hard on that.
Now we quickly have to go to Shilling because
Okay.
because I know that the CIA is gonna take us down in a couple of minutes.
because of the Lego debungle. Oh well, revealed
Shut
the
that!
Lego
No,
story.
he was just joking.
I know,
It was all just for fun.
How silly would that be? Lego people taking over. It's obviously just a joke. It's all right,
Yeah.
guys. I think I've got us covered. It's okay. So, okay. Are we going to shield something? What do we got coming up, Ardawen?
Well, I was actually wondering if Jin or Brainless had anything to shield first.
Good idea.
Well, as you know, I don't do much myself, but like, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Slim's probably streaming. Slim Living Cyborg. He's always fun.
Yep.
I think most people here know him.
Yep.
So yeah, and probably I'm not sure if she's doing this week, but Vila has on Wednesday her scary stories. So
Okay.
that's always fun.
Is that her doing her own stories or people calling in with stories?
No, she finds stories online and she reads them.
Oh,
It's actually quite fun.
Oh, all right. That's interesting. It came up, but I was going to bed, I think, or something like that, so I didn't see her last week. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
no, that's actually quite nice. And on yeah, I'm a stream whore. I know. And on Thursdays there's usually Delicious Danish with the TMI show.
Oh,
And
yeah,
on Friday, of course,
yeah.
Biplash. That's basically my week.
There you go. You've just
They don't
realised
call
how
me a stream whore
tragic
for
your life
nothing.
really is. Okay. We're sorry we did that to you.
I enjoy it. It's like, and yeah, I think it's nice to shield the people that I follow, you know. And
I'm currently addicted to Simon Whistler, you know, Fact Boy, the bald guy that just does Today I Found Out, and I don't know. He just does he's a YouTube whore himself. He just puts up all sorts of stuff, and it's all good topics too, so that's cool. What about you, Jen? Who do you want to shield?
In about 4 hours, you'll be able to find me with the Uncalled For on the shills.
Right. What's their topic? Any idea? If
I don't recall.
uh-huh. nice diversion there.
Well,
So it will be the Uncalled For.
I don't recall.
Well, in that case, I may have something for you to show during the show. Because Boomer, what do we have this Wednesday?
Well, I'm in the mood for some April Fool's shenanigans because I don't have any friends, so no one pranked me. So I'm kind of a bit prankless this April Fool's Day. Someone should send me out. I don't know, no flaming turd on the doorstep, no one fucking burning my lawn with
well, that's what we did 2 weeks ago.
What did we do?
2 weeks ago, we actually did an April Fool's version of Have I Got a Clue for You?
Oh, gee, I might have to go back and watch it. I don't seem to remember much. So, well, seeing we missed April Fool's, it's going to have to be. I was just pranking you. It was an April Fool's joke.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah, are we covering? I know I always do. Are we covering Easter perhaps with Have I Got a Clue for You? That wonderfully formatted game show that we made up.
Yes, absolutely. This Wednesday we have the Easter edition of Have I Got a Clue for You with some from some nice Easter presents.
So crucifixes,
with Easter eggs.
Crucifixions, of course. Romans being thugs should be good.
you know, yeah, it's actually a good opportunity to get nailed.
Well,
about that.
Jesus walked into a hotel in Bethlehem and put down 2 nails and said, "Hey, can you put me up for the night?" So we'll have another plethora of dead Easter jokes, I'm sure, and that's going to be Wednesday, 8 p.m. UTC. Is that right? Or is daylight
Yes,
savings
yes,
just fucking me up?
yes.
Having
I
daylight-
think I'm not sure. It's leastly it's yeah, and it's 9 p.m. Amsterdam time.
Yeah, but who would care about that?
Well,
What's the
pretty
difference
much
in
any
Amsterdam time?
country from Amsterdam to Berlin.
No, but Amsterdam doesn't matter because everyone's high as a kite, so no one gives a fuck what time it is. So it's irrelevant. It's a moot point. You don't
Ah,
bother the
shut
time
up.
over there,
Well,
do you?
Amsterdam is kind of a shithole. I give you that. That's why I love living all the way to the east.
Oh, okay.
East
Right, so
Power.
you're in the
Yes.
Far East now.
Hey, you know where the wise people came from, right? They
I
came from
don't know
the
if
east.
this is
The West.
No, the wise
It was easier to go east.
the wise men from the east. Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
it depends. You're talking the original wise man because if Hollywood's taught us anything, and it has, cavemen were clearly white, had lots of furry sort of shit on, and spoke English.
Wise.
Hey,
Wise.
No, that
Not white. Wise.
that never failed to
No,
amaze me.
No,
On
as in smart. Damn, you're clearly not one of them.
No, because
Oh.
because I've never heard from of the wise men of Australia.
Yeah.
well, Mitchell won the award, so come on, guys. Mitchell from Australia is top left. Go Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. You guys couldn't get there, could you? Your best is Harwin. I mean, he's only just marginally stupid. You got to get better stupid than that, fellas. I'm sorry,
Why?
if you need any tips on stupid, I'm from the country of the winner. This is like winning the Eurovision Song Contest, but better.
Well, okay, but that to be fair, it's not hard to be better than the Eurovision Song Festival.
Well, true, but okay, yeah, I know.
Is there anything
Okay,
that
well,
isn't?
Well, I'm going to go and savour in the Australian victory today. It's a public holiday. We're all going to get out and celebrate and call him Mitchell, King Mitchell. We might even get him to run for PM. We've got an election coming up, and well, he can't do a worse job than what we've got. So that's me for the day, guys. All right, I've had a total ball playing cards.
Yeah, I think that this is pretty much it for today.
Okay.
So with that, I guess I want to thank everyone for coming.
Ditto.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It
You've
was
sort of
fun.
gone quiet a bit, brainless, but
What?
that's right. You're back. You're a bit quiet. Sometimes you're up and down. Might be my internet. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I usually move my microphone away from my mouth when I talk because usually I get the opposite from people because I know
I'm a bit of a
I can
stickler
be-
for mic technique.
I'm a
There you
bit
go. Now the
I'm quite loud usually, so
now the little kids can enjoy.
Oh yeah, they
their,
got food. Well, no, there's fuel in the Maserati. You still need to double that for lettuce. Apparently, lettuce is expensive, but I won't know. All right, Ardawen, you want to wrap it and tie a knot in this and kill us all for the evening?
Well, like I said, thank you everyone for coming, and I guess we see you guys on Wednesday for Have I Got a Clue for You?
Bye.
Bye.